Welcome to this week's broadcast, The Science of Calm. The Science of Calm. I think that there's this misconception out there among many, many communities, lots of parenting experts, um, from Janet Lansbury, who I really love and appreciate her work on gentle parenting, to so many other approaches that in order to help your child calm their intense behaviors, in order to help your kiddo regulate their emotions, all you have to do is just calm yourself down. Like it's easy. Like there's some switch that you can flip that would allow you to like get control of your calm like this. Now, if I had gone into motherhood with that belief that that was kind of all I had to do in order to help my child to calm down her nervous system or regulate, help my kids to calm down their really big behaviors, I would have been in huge trouble because there is no switch. There is no button that you can push on your nervous system, on your brain, on your emotions and your decision making that will allow you to suddenly be present and calm and cool to help your kid regulate their emotions. There isn't a button like that. I'm going to tell you about what doesn't work and what actually does work to help your kiddo to regulate their emotions. Okay. My experience is so different from what a lot of these really beautiful parenting approaches say, where your kid will quickly recover as long as you can take a couple breaths and count to 10. I had a really different experience. I feel like I was challenged to my core of who I am, and I've helped hundreds and hundreds of mothers who also felt the same way, who are empaths, who are highly sensitive, who felt challenged to their core with trying to maintain some sense of sanity or calm in the really intense moments of parenting. And I know a lot of parents out there, a lot of you have experienced this too. And I'm speaking to you, those of you who feel like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me that I can't seem to ground in these moments, whether it's a meltdown or in the face of intense emotions or outbursts. How do I stay in my own lane and not get pulled into the emotions of what's going on? If you're snapping, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel tired, if you feel drained, energetically drained after tough parenting moments, this is for you. Okay. So tell me if you're listening, if any of this is resonating for you. Tell me how old your kids are or the child who you need the most help with. Just say that in the comments now. And welcome. Just settle in for the next few minutes. I want to just begin with when I say the science of calm, and I've worked with clients for 20 years and have had a lot of opportunities to dig into people's family patterns, their past trauma, to sit with families in the space when a kid is melting down and help moms learn how to find their center and regulate, and have really had a lot of opportunity for this clinical research to pinpoint and identify what are the few things, one, that are happening when we are dysregulated, like in the physiology, in the nervous system, in the brain, in your thoughts, and how which levers to pull and to move to help a child to come out of their spiral. So which levers to pull in us. So here's what's really happening when your child is dysregulated, and here's why I'm talking about you. When kids are swept up in their emotions, when they're overwhelmed, they're yelling, even physically aggressive toward you. What's really happening when they are that dysregulated, when they are that out of control of their emotions, that's what dysregulated means. Their prefrontal cortex, which is this part on the front of the brain, their prefrontal cortex, their reasoning brain has gone offline. It's the easiest way to say it. It's gone offline. And their primal brain is being activated. That's the fight, flight, or freeze response. That's that impulsivity is the emotional response. Okay, so they're not able to access that reasoning mind. So when you try to reason with a child who is having a big emotion, they cannot hear you. They cannot hear you. It's not that they're being stubborn or disrespectful. It's just not available to them right now. So that's what's happening in the brain activity. And the part of the brain, the primal brain, the lower brain, brain stem, the limbic system, that fight, flight, or freeze response is on, the survival instinct is on, and you will see that impulsivity, the fight, you will see the emotional response, and that will be all that you'll see. If you're an adult and you're having a scary experience or a reaction to something, you may notice your hands get clammy, your heart rate accelerates. You may notice that you feel, your legs are twitching, like the need to run. You may feel numb. You may go straight to dissociation, numb out. All these trauma responses can trigger that primal brain response for something that is really not a life or death situation, but your nervous system thinks that it is. When your child is coming at you, when your kiddo is melting down, when it's getting really loud. It might just be your kids are playing loudly if you have young kids, and you're starting to feel edgy, anxious, wound up, amped up. You've come out of your prefrontal cortex and you're into your primal brain. Okay, that's what's happening. So kids are the same way. If you want to calm down your child's big behaviors or reactions, help them get back in control of themselves. So if they're making big emotional protests, they're arguing back with you, you cannot help them by focusing on their behavior. I'm going to say it again. It will not help your child when they are emotionally out of control to focus on their behaviors. It's never going to work. So calm that behavior down, lower your voice. Be careful with your body, be safe with your body. Even you're saying it in the most positive way. You're saying it in the most connected parenting, gentle parenting way. I'm just going to hold you to keep you safe. Blah, 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 blah. They're just hearing wah, 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 wah. They are in their primal brain. They are surviving. Even you are a threat. Everything is a threat. If you have seen this or experienced this, I would love to hear about what it was like for you. Give us a share in the comments. Click the like button at the minimum if you have felt this before, if you have lived through this before. It can be really unsettling as a parent when you can see that any little thing you do is just escalating your child further. That's because they're already in their primal brain. So here is the workaround. So how do I help my kid who's out of control if every little thing I do seems to trigger them more, seems to escalate them more? My hands are tied, but they're not. They're not. The good news is there is something really impactful that you can do that is a bit of a loophole. So most people try to go directly at the child, speaking to the problem that happened, trying to solve the problem that happened, speaking to the behavior, speaking to their emotions, trying to acknowledge the emotions. I can see that you're frustrated. Your kid's getting more angry. And it's like everything's a landmine. That's because they're in their primal brain. Okay. So even you are a threat. Now, a lot of parents in this moment will go to your room until you calm down. They will tell the child, go have your feelings on your own because I can't take it. I don't have the bandwidth for that. I cannot be a contain. Go contain your own feelings. So for young children, this can be even scarier. It can send them into a bigger spiral. Some kids will go into their room and start hurting themselves. They'll start tearing apart the room. They'll start banging their head against the wall. They will inflict wounds. The older kids will cut in private, in secret. They will cause pain, physical pain, to be able to feel their emotions. There's no container for that. So here's the workaround, because you don't want your kids having to go that route. Trust me, I've worked with a lot of parents who've had to go through this. It's terrifying. And you never want to consider that your child might be causing themselves harm or someone else harm just to be able to feel the feeling. We see this now with our school shootings. We see it with violence, people inflicting violence against children. innocent, innocent people, innocent kids. Obviously, these are mental health issues happening. Obviously, someone wants to inflict harm to be able to experience a feeling of being empowered or to act out an experience of being the perpetrator instead of the victim. This is a conversation for another day, but it's also the conversation for today. It's relevant in everything that I teach. It's relevant. This is a part of what motivates me to get up here when I'm sick. I'm sick today. I don't feel good today, but I show up anyway because your child's mental health is a matter of life or death, not just for them, but for other people too. And we see this every day in our schools in the US. So you can help your child to learn. That's how important it is to help them to regulate their emotions, to understand their emotions, to move through an emotion, to not get stuck, to feel seen and heard. And you can help them to do that by being the thing that you want them to be. Being, in this case, the calm, the in control of your emotions, the person who has emotional intelligence, the person who understands how to move through a feeling, how to face something hard and move through that to the other side. And it only takes maybe 3 seconds, 5 seconds to feel a feeling when you know what you're doing. Most people don't know what they're doing on this. And that's a skill. This is a skill we teach our clients in our programs, and it's a skill you can teach your kids. But the way to teach them is by doing it yourself so that they can experience it. So I'm going to tell you 2 different ways you can practice this. So even if you don't know what I'm talking about, you've never done emotionally focused work, you've never practiced mindfulness or presence awareness or meditated or done somatic work, it's okay. You can start from the beginning. There are 2 techniques that I'm going to give you right now that will allow you to practice this. Number 1, slow down. To liven in the moment when you're stressed, when you're with your kid, when they're melting down. Slow down. Slow down your thoughts. Slow down. An easy way to do this is to slow down your breathing. You have to learn to be more aware of yourself to find out where your baseline is. If you're revved up and you're going to be acting from that place of being amped up, you're going to be anxious. You're going to be wanting to control them. You're going to be wanting to make it stop. You're going to be wanting to solve their problem. You're going to be wanting to, and then you'll snap and say, go to your room until you're calm. Go to your room until you can be nice. So if you slow down, it will help you to access a little bit more presence. And you can slow down with your breath. It's the easiest way I can teach that. Just literally put your hand over your heart or hand over your belly when you're feeling stressed. Close your eyes. Feel your heartbeat under your hand. Pull your attention from what's happening in front of you to what's happening inside of you. Simplest way to do this. So 5 deep breaths, 10 deep breaths may do absolutely nothing for you because you haven't yet detached from what's happening out here and actually gone inward. But 1 breath or 3 breaths, when you slow down and go inward, will make all the difference in the world. Shifts the energy in the entire room, shifts the energy in your child. Why? Because of mirror neurons and lots of other things that happen. You've probably heard the term co-regulation. Everyone's thinking intellectually about co-regulation. If I say the right thing, I can help my kid to co-regulate, but that's not how it works. It's not an intellectual or cognitive process. Remember, they're here in the primal brain. Okay, so you got to come out of your hyperfixate mode. And you got to actually physiologically slow yourself down. Okay, that's the first technique. Got it? Questions, drop them in the comments. And then the second technique is to drop your agenda. Drop your agenda. Whatever needs to get done. And instead, your number 1 priority, your only agenda item in that moment is to secure your own sense of calm. Back to slowing down. How do I do that? Slow down. Slow down. Okay. The goal in that moment changes from getting your child to do the thing or to be respectful to you in that moment or to agree to something, to helping them return to their reasoning mind, their prefrontal cortex, getting them out of the primal brain, fight, flight, freeze, into somewhere where they can access that reasoning mind. So reactivating, putting back online the rest of their brain, that prefrontal cortex. Okay. Okay. So I just want you to imagine for a moment, as an adult, you in your life now, if some experience where everything goes wrong in a day, and then there's a traffic jam and you're late for your meeting, and then late to pick your kids up, and you just know there's going to be a big domino effect and it's a nightmare, and your client's going to be really upset with you, or you'll miss your deadline or whatever, and everything's just kind of a mess. You hit that limit, you are cracking open, and you're just having a total freak out, and you're realizing that you're totally screwed. And another adult swoops in onto the scene and says to you, "Hey, no big deal. Don't worry about it. Just it's going to work out fine. Just keep going," or whatever. And can you imagine, if someone said, like, just chill out to you when you were so stressed out, and they obviously weren't appreciating the scope of the problem. They obviously were not appreciating the intensity of all of the chaos that was going on for you in that moment. That would escalate you. That would increase your frustration. It would make you mad at the person who wasn't even attempting to understand, who didn't get it. A lot of times you'll hear your teenagers say, "You don't get it. You don't get it." Because they feel this. So if you can imagine how you would feel with all of your skills and emotional intelligence, so frustrated, escalated, multiply that times 10 for your child or your teenager. They don't have all that life experience yet. So nothing good comes from, moral to the story, nothing good comes from pushing through your feelings. And the same is true for them. Nothing good comes from trying to make them stuff a feeling or change the way they feel. Distraction works, with 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds. You can still get away with sort of changing the channel for them by distracting them. Babies can sort of get silly, and then they'll change and pop out of their upset. But by the time where we are 3, 4, 5, and beyond, we're starting to develop those bigger emotional skills, or stuff it down, or ignore a huge part of our being, a huge part of who we are, which doesn't work, which creates this kind of dissociation that we see in a kid who would walk into a school with an automatic weapon. This is the importance of understanding this, you guys. It's so important. It's that important that it's life or death. And in that moment, you may just feel like, "Oh, this is about you. Like you're effing it up. You're failing because you're yelling at your kids." It's it's not about you. It's a part of your experience, but this is really about giving our kids the knowing how to move through, to recognize what they're feeling, move through that feeling, and get to the other side. And that's what I want for all of you to know how to do. And if you feel like that's not happening under your roof, it's not happening, and you want more learning on this, I'm hosting a masterclass this week, tomorrow and Friday, 2 days. Come and join me. Come into that room. It's live on Zoom. You have to register. I will drop the link in the comments right now. This is a live session, 2 live sessions to teach you how to actually, there's the link for you guys if you're on Facebook, how to actually move yourself to be able to move your child from that escalated state to a place where they actually can co-regulate and calm down, so that you don't have to stay stuck and overwhelmed, but instead you can feel confident in having the right strategies that will bring calm to your home and your family. If you don't have these strategies, if it's not working for you, you think you have the strategies, but it's not working for you, something's missing. So come into this space and come learn with me. I will help you. I will answer your questions. We'll have some Q&A. Go ahead and click the link in the comments to register, and do this learning to make a difference now. It's never too late. But if you do nothing, nothing will change. Things will just get more intense. Okay, so come and learn with me. I'm going to make it fun. It's going to feel good for you too. And I look forward to supporting you. Okay, you guys, until tomorrow, I'll see you then.